Welcome to the Canadian Business Quarterly podcast, where we speak with Canada's most influential industry leaders on the business and economic development issues taking place across the country. You can stay up to date with all of our content, including our publications, newsletters, and podcasts by visiting www.thecbq.ca and clicking on subscribe.
Our guest today is Thomas Benjoe, President and CEO of FHQ Developments. The company's mandate is to grow their portfolio of business investments and partnerships, as well as support nation economic development, entrepreneurship, and Indigenous HR and employment solutions. Thomas serves on a number of committees and boards, including the Saskatchewan Chamber of Commerce, and is recognized as one of the top 10 most influential economic developers by Treaty 4 News, a feature that profiles business leaders, job creators, and entrepreneurs who have made a valuable contribution to improving the lives of Indigenous people through business and have helped keep Saskatchewan's economy vibrant and strong. Thomas, thanks for speaking with us today.
Yeah, thank you.
So what does FHQ Developments do?
Well, we're a First Nations development corporation, and so basically what we do is we focus on investments and the creation of new businesses and partnerships within Saskatchewan right now. But we also have other mandates that we support around economic development, and so we're helping to support some of our nations, which are the 11 First Nations that make up the Fowl Hills Qu'Appelle Tribal Council here in southern Saskatchewan, and we support them and try to find resources and good best business practices to help them with the growth of their businesses as well. As part of economic development, we also focus on entrepreneurship. And so we're trying to find ways to better guide and provide resources from other organizations to deliver better services to our entrepreneurs from our communities. And so we do some of that work. And of course, you alluded to our Indigenous HR capacity that we have as an organization, and so we're trying to develop better ways of managing not only Indigenous HR consulting and HR in general in our communities, but we're also trying to create pathways for citizens, not only from our communities, but from other nations as well, to advance themselves in their careers. And so we help with recruitment and retention efforts with some of our clients throughout Saskatchewan.
Okay. Can you just explain a little bit more the footprint? You said you're based in southern Saskatchewan. I think you guys are based in Regina. So what is the footprint or availability of servicing the province?
Yeah, so our nations are situated throughout southern Saskatchewan, but I mean our companies, depending on the work, we have been doing work throughout the province, and so we get different types of contracts from time to time, and we work in other territories, and we always have the vision to grow and expand our businesses even beyond our Saskatchewan borders, and looking at opportunities in other markets. And we have seen and been a part of RFPs in other jurisdictions, and so we're really trying to grow and strengthen our business here at our core, and then look to expand our services outside of Saskatchewan.
Okay. How long has the company been operating for, and how did you get involved with FHQ?
Well, we've been in operation for about 10 years now. And originally, I was one of the founding board of directors members. And, over the years, I've been able to serve on the board and It wasn't until just about it's almost 4 years now since I've taken on the role as CEO. But I had my board approached me and asked if I wanted to take on the leadership role of which I was much obliged, and this is something that I'm very, very passionate about. So now I'm able to help lead one of the most innovative Indigenous development corporations in Canada.
So since the formation of the organization in 2010, how has it changed over the years?
I think when I look back at where we started, we didn't have a lot of capital. We purely got established based on strategy. So we were leveraging the best of what we knew in business practices for other Indigenous dev corps across Canada. And we also looked at the governance structure of the organization, making sure that that was rooted in the best governance practices. And from there, we went out and sought out business. And so at that point in time, we looked at any opportunity that came available to us to be able to begin generating our own revenue for operations. And so over the years, though, we've now been in a different position where we can sort of pick and choose and make sure that our partners are well aligned with us as an organization, as we have made the tough decision to actually leave some partnerships because the alignment wasn't there anymore to our mandate as an organization. And I think what has really changed is our focus. Our focus is sustainability. Our focus is creating impact not only for our communities but the greater economy, and being able to grow and develop a strong Indigenous workforce inside of our organizations, and even for our non-Indigenous employees, making sure that they feel valued as treaty people within this territory as well, and making sure that they feel pride in working for an organization like FHQ Developments through the businesses that we own.
Okay. I believe there's now 8 different companies within the umbrella of FHQ. Do you want to just take us through these different divisions and how they make up the business?
Yeah, so we've been focused on construction has been sort of bread and butter for us, where we've had a lot of success over the years in that industry. We have now added janitorial services and other types of contracting, and we've done a lot of work in the industrial sector, and so we're looking at mining and oil and gas and supporting those industries, and we're now venturing into looking at how can our services in construction participate in some of the renewable energy sector as well. We do own a drilling rig. Yes, that's seems a little strange to own a drilling rig in these times, but we've had really good partners that have maintained that asset for us, and that our asset continues to operate even through some of the tough times in the market. Our asset has been working in the market, so we're quite proud of that accomplishment, to be able to keep an asset working when we know that others have not had that same success in the market. When we look at some of the other things that we're involved with, hospitality, our hotel, we have an ownership stake in with other partners, and it's doing it's starting to do a lot better. We're starting to see some positive trends in in our occupancy rates in Swift Current, and we're quite excited to see the pickup in business as the summer is rolling on. And another industry that we're quite excited to be a part of is the tech sector. We have Saskatchewan's only software testing company, and it just so happens to be 80% Indigenous owned, and with a majority Indigenous workforce. We're taking that opportunity to build our experience, build our knowledge in that industry, and we're constantly looking at ways to expand our investment in the tech sector. We know the future is technology, and the better we're able to build an understanding and build an understanding around risk profiles for that industry, the better position we're going to be in to be able to invest and grow, other tech companies in Saskatchewan. So, I mean, those are the industries we're involved with, and of course the industries that we'll look to get create more impact in is definitely around renewable energy, and we are exploring strategies around the ag sector, and not so much as producers, but we're looking at being involved in the ag sector around the technology, manufacturing, and supply chain.
Okay. You had mentioned your hotel in Swift Current, but where else might people have seen, your work or construction projects?
We do a lot of work in the mining sector. So we have some pretty deep-rooted relationships with a lot of the potash mines in Saskatchewan, and right now we're just continuing to grow and expand our relationship with those mine sites, and we have a number of other spends that are going to be coming in Saskatchewan. I mean, our province has announced $7 billion in spending in infrastructure, and we're aligning ourselves with opportunities that are to come from some of our provincial ministries and crown corporations. So we're going to see likely some different types of work that we're going to be growing our capacity in.
Okay. As part of the story, you had wanted to speak about the issues facing Indigenous procurement. Why don't you take us through this?
Sure. Yeah. We alongside what we do as an organization, there's an important responsibility that I feel we have as a development corporation to make sure that we're influencing and advocating for Indigenous procurement with organizations not only in Saskatchewan but across Canada. And so we've been quite involved with different organizations and the establishment of their procurement policies, or we're always mindful to give critical feedback on some of their processes, and also just bringing more awareness to why Indigenous procurement is so important. And sort of what I share with organizations is when we choose to make that investment in Indigenous business, we're choosing to create an opportunity to make a greater impact in our own economy. And when I say that, the structure that FHQ Developments has created over the years has given us the opportunity to create greater impact for not only our communities but the economy in general. And so, in that process, what we're doing is, we see a lot of the wealth that's being generated from the contracts that we do. And those profits that are made are taken and They are then reinvested into new companies. So we're continuously looking at growth opportunities to keep, expanding and diversifying our portfolio of businesses. But we're also, reinvesting in things that we feel are important in our communities, especially around youth. And so we take a lot of the wealth that has been generated and we reinvest into programs that are typically not government funded, and we're providing that resource there to help build up our future workforce. Some of the other things that we do or create impact through is through the employment. A lot of the wealth that's generated through employment of Indigenous people and even our non-Indigenous staff. I mean, they're all from Saskatchewan. They're taking that wealth and they're reinvesting in their families and in their local economies. And so there again, the dollars that we're earning through these contracts continuously are spun through our economies. And so, when we talk to organizations about making these changes, typically in a procurement process, you're looking at price, you're looking at quality of work, you're looking at service, you're looking at timelines, and you're looking at safety. In order to differentiate quality or community impacts, it's important to think about, if we're going to spend that dollar here, how is that going to create an impact in our community overall? And so, Indigenous procurement allows us to see an even greater impact, and especially in a segment of our population that has been typically barred out from being able to participate in the economy through government policy, and other issues, other historic issues have kept us out of the economy. And now what we're saying is we're not asking for handouts to participate in the economy. We're asking for a hand up. Give us that same opportunity that every other business would have had in the past, and allow us to participate and bring some of our value system into our clients' value systems as well. Look at the impact that we're creating, and think about the impact that you want to create as a business as well.
Okay. And before we finish today, is there anything you haven't had a chance to address or would like to make mention of?
Yeah, I think doing this work is sometimes it's tough. It's tough to try and change minds and trying to change systems. And we had a good conversation today, actually, with another client that was doesn't have an Indigenous procurement policy, but is looking to go down this path. And one of the things that I explained to them was, when we go through this process, don't do it alone. And as an Indigenous organization, when a lot of these organizations are making policies that affect us, oftentimes we're not at the table. And it's so important to have Indigenous leaders at the table to help guide and answer questions to some of the issues that may pose problems or barriers. And so, when we take this approach to helping, we're trying to create a safe space and a safe space to be able to ask the tough questions, to feel humbled in being able to have questions answered, and doing so in a way where there's proper consultation on some of these underlying issues that not everyone completely understands. And so when we really collaborate and work together and have that safe space to have absolute difficult conversations, that's when the real work gets done. And so that's what we want to be a part of. And the quicker we can be a part of those conversations and change those mindsets, the quicker we're going to be able to see changes in our own economy and, the advancement of Indigenous business.
Excellent. Well, Thomas, thanks very much for your time today.
Perfect. Thanks, Jesse.
This has been a production of the Canadian Business Quarterly, a division of Romulus Rising Proprietary Limited. All rights reserved. You can stay up to date with the Canadian Business Quarterly, including our publications, newsletters, and podcasts by visiting www.thecbq.ca and clicking on subscribe.